Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for GRE. We have been solving GRE math problems out of this book here, the official guide to the revised GRE, the second edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problems that we are about to solve are the ones that you will not find on any page number. These are bonus problems, I just realized it. These are bonus percentage problems that we're going to do today that do not appear in the book. These are the same exact problem that we did on day number 87 and 88. If you wish to watch the original solution, which is done at a much slower pace, here we're going to redo them, but I'm not going to explain every single step that is involved in it. If you need that kind of help, you can watch the original solution on day number 87 and 88, where you will see these problems being done, as I said already, at a slower pace. Number 1. First question is, what percent of 50 is 8? What percent of 50 is 8? Here's our dictionary. This is how we convert algebra. This is how we convert percentage problem into a proper equation. We translate every word at a time, every single word, one word at a time. What means the unknown quantity x. Percent simply means out of 100. Percent means per 100. Out of 100 means percent means over 100. So x percent over 100. 5% would have been 5 over 100. 37% would have been 37 over 100, 44.8% would be 44.8 over 100, and so on and so forth. Therefore, x percent simply means x over 100. Of means times. Of means times. So multiply. And then is means equals. Something is missing. What percent of, oh, we left out 50. Is 8. There we go. That's it. We have our equation now. We can solve for x. If we divide top and bottom by 50, it becomes 2. So x is simply 8 over 2 or 16. 8 times 2 or 16. Which makes perfect sense because the question was what percentage of 50 is 8? 8 is 8% of 100. If 8 is 8% of 100, then it stands to reason that 8 should be 16% of 50 because 50 is half of 100. So the percentage is going to be twice as much. Number 2. Second question is 60% of 30% of what is 81? Now at this point it might not be a bad idea actually to pause the video and solve the question yourself and then compare your work that you do yourself with the work that we are about to do together. Here's the question. Question simply is 60% of 30% of what is 81? Again, the most important part is being able to come up with the right equation immediately. And the way we do that is to translate the statement word by word. That's it. Don't skip any single word. Word by word. 60% means over 100. 60 over 100. Of means times, and then 30% means over 100. Other of means times. What means what is our unknown quantity, and then is means equals. Voila. So this is what the problem says. 60. I'm going to read it to you now. Okay. Even if you erase this part, it says 60% over 100 means percent. 60% of 30% of what is 81. There you go. We're done. All we have to do is now simplify everything. And again, this is the part I'm not going to explain in too much of a detail. As I keep repeating, as I keep reminding you, watch the original videos if you need to go at a slower pace, if you are going to have trouble following what I'm about to do next. We're going to solve for x, and that is simply going to be 81 times 100 times another 100 over 60 times 30. Now if I lost you here, in the original videos I explained the steps. Divide top and bottom by 100, so you can drop out this 0, you can drop out that 0. Now we are left with 100, what can we do here? Let's divide 100 and the 6, divide top and bottom by 2, that will become 50 and this will become 3. And here we are left with 3 times 3, 3 times 3 is 9, 81 has 9 nines, so 9 will go out in 81 9 times. And what we are left with is 9 times 50, 9 times 50, which is 450. That's it. 9 times 50 is 450. What we want to do now is to verify very quickly. Had it been a real exam, just take a couple of seconds to verify. We're going to do that in a second. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds in case you need to pause the video. So now we're going to verify it. What we're claiming is that, this is what we're claiming. What we're claiming, in place of what, we're going to substitute 450. This is what we're claiming. What we're claiming is that 60% of 30% of 45 is 81. Well, let's find out, shall we? Let's find out very quickly if that makes any sense. So first find out 30% of 450. 30% of 450 is how much? Well, that's pretty straightforward. We know 10%. We know 10% of 450 is 45. Therefore, 30% is going to be 3 times as much. So that's the 30%. And 45 times 3, 50 times 3 is 150. So it's going to be 150 minus 15, 135. I basically took 3 50s and I subtracted 3 5s from it. That's how I got 45 times 3. Now we have to do 60% of this amount, 60% of that amount. Again, 60% is what we're looking for. 60% of 135 should be same as 60% means 3/5. 60% of anything is 3/5. 1/5 is 20%. And those tables that I'm referring to right now, these percentages, these fractions, these equivalent fractions, equivalent decimals and so forth, you should know by heart, and if you don't know them, you will find them. I think it's either day 84 or 85, that's when I covered the entire table of the percentages with all the appropriate fractions and the decimals that you need to know by heart, the things that you need to have on your fingertips. Is it on your fingertips or at your fingertips? I don't know what the idiom is for the exam. So 60% means, 20% means 1/5, therefore 60% is 3/5. 3/5 of 135 is what we're looking for, and that amount better come out to be the same as this one. Let's find out. Divide top and bottom by 5, so how many 5s in a 13? 13 has 2 5s. The remaining 3 goes and joins the 5, it becomes 35. How many 5s in a 35? 35 has 7 5s. Oh no, it's not, this is what we're looking for. The answer should be 81. 3 times 27 is 81. There we go. So what we do is we started out with 450, and what we're claiming is that if we take the 30% of 450, and then if we take 60% of that amount, that better come out to be 81, because that's what we're claiming here. We're claiming that 60% of 30% of 450 is 81. We just found that. Let's do the next one. Problem number 3. That's it, we're done with this one. I'll give you a couple of seconds to pause it in case you need to get. There we go. Number 3. Let's see if you can do number 3 yourself. It's a very similar problem. The question is 75% of 72 is same as 60% of what? Again, pause the video at this point, solve the problem yourself, you'll get more out of it that way. Even if you have some trouble, even if you get it wrong, even if you did not get it right, even then you'll get more out of it if you try it yourself first. So here's the question, 75% of 72 is same as 60% of what? Here's how it goes. 75 is very simple. Translate everything word by word. 75% means over 100. 75% Of means times. Times 72 is same as equal sign, is same as 60%. 60 over 100. Of means times. And the what is the unknown quantity. There you go. We have our equation. This equation we know to be 100% correct because we did not skip any words. We translated the entire sentence word by word. Do you understand? If you multiply both sides by 100, the 100 is going to drop out. So x basically equals to 75 times 72 over 60. That's all. Divide top and bottom by 15. 60 has 4 15s, 75 has 5 15s. And now we have to get rid of this 4 from the bottom. Let's divide top and bottom by 4. How many 4s in the 72? So let's find out. This is 72, in case you have trouble with my handwriting. How many 4s in a 72? How do we find out? Well, by doing one digit at a time. How many 4s in a 7? 7 has 1 4. The remaining 3 goes and joins the 3 becomes 32. How many 4s in a 32? 32 has 8 4. 8 4s are 32. So the answer is 5 times 18. 5 times 18. How much is 5 times 18? How the hell do I know? I know 10 times 18 is 90. Oh, sorry, 10 times 18. 10 times 18 is 180. Therefore, 5 times is going to be half as much. So again, what we are claiming is this part. What we are claiming here is this. So the answer is 90. What we are claiming here is that 75% of 72 is same as 60% of 90. This is what we are claiming. In place of what? In place of what? We replace our answer, 90. And that has to make sense. Let's verify quickly, shall we? Let's quickly verify it. That's it, we're done here. Now we're going to do a quick verification. And it goes something like this. So first we have to figure out 75% of 72. 75% of 72, which is simply 3/4, of means times. Divide top and bottom by 4. How many 4s in a 7? 7 has 1 4. The remaining 3 goes and joins the 2 becomes 32. How many 4s in a 32? 32 has 8 4s. 8 4s are 32. So this is 3 times 18 on this side. And this has to be, what we're claiming is that this quantity, 75% of 72, what we're claiming is that it is same as what we're going to do here, which is 60% of 90. 60% of 90. 60% means 3/5. 60% means 3/5, and of means times 90. Divide top and bottom by 5. How many 5s in a 9? 9 has 1 5. The remaining 4 goes and joins the 0 becomes 40. How many 5s in a 40? 40 has 8 5s. There you go. We end up with 3 times 18. Just like here, we end up with 3 times 18. They are the same. 75% of 72, 75% of 72 is same as 60% of 90. Voila. You want to do one more? Okay, let's do one more. Let's do one more. Let's carry on then. I'll give you a couple of seconds again to pause this thing if you need to. Alright, next one, number 4. All of these problems, as it says here, all of these are bonus problems. They are not in the book. Don't waste your time looking for them. They are not there. Well, they are there in the sense that these problems appeared in some old GRE exams, and they are not in this particular book. Do you understand? What percentage of 4 is 5? And even that part I'm not quite 100% sure. These may have been very similar questions to what appeared in the real exam, or maybe they are the same, I don't remember. Anyway, here's the question. What percent of 4 is 5? That's very simple, very straightforward question. What percent of 4 is 5? So let's do it here. What? That's our x, that's our unknown. Percent means over 100. of means times, and then we have 4, and then we have is, which means equal 5. There you go. That's our equation. Getting the right equation is the most essential part, most important part, most crucial part, most vital part, because otherwise it doesn't matter how good you are at solving the equation. If the equation itself is wrong, then everything is for naught. Everything is going to be for naught. Let's solve for x. X is going to be equal to 5 times 100 over 4. Divide top and bottom by 4. 100 has 25 fours, and is 5 times 25, which is 125. Which is 125. So what we're claiming is this. What we're claiming is, let me redo it without all this mumbo jumbo. So x equals 5 times 100 over 4, divide top and bottom by 25, and is 25 times 5, which is 125. So what we're claiming is this. What we're claiming is that the question was what percentage of 4 is 5, and what we're claiming is that 125% of 4 is 5. This is what we're claiming. This is what we're claiming. Let's see if it makes any sense. I don't know why I put that word down here, not, because I thought we covered it in our vocabulary lessons, but we did not. What not just means exactly what it sounds like. It means for nothing, for cipher. Here's another word, cipher. I don't know why we have not learned these words in our vocabulary lessons. I should cover them in the near future. Not means for nothing, for nil. So if the equation itself is wrong, then it doesn't matter how good you are at solving the equation. If the equation itself is wrong, then all the work that you do there in the equation is going to be for naught. It's going to be for nothing, because the equation itself was wrong. And how do we make sure that the equation that we arrive at is in fact the right equation? Well, by doing what we've been doing here, which is to solve every single word separately, individually, one word at a time, and you will see that the right equation emerges automatically. You won't have to think about it. Automatically it will emerge, the right equation, that is. Let's see if this actually makes sense. What we're claiming here is that 125% of 4 is 5. Let's see if it actually makes any sense. Which actually does make sense. Which does make sense because we know that 100% of 4 is 4, and we also know that 25% of 4, how much is 25% of 4? 25% means a quarter. 25% of anything is just a quarter of something. So what is a quarter of 4? Quarter of 4 is 1. Therefore 125%, see, 100 plus a 25, 125% of 4 is simply 4 plus 1, or 5. There we go. 125% of 4 is 5, right here. 125% of 4 is 5, which is what we claim, and of course that makes sense. Because 5 is essentially 1 more than 4, and 4 is the 25%, so 100% plus 25% is 125%. It was a very simple question. It's just the way they phrase the thing that throws people off. What percent of 4 is 5? And people in their rush, people in their haste, end up picking answer as 80%, which is of course a sucker answer. It's not 4 over 5, it is 5 over 4. 4 over 5 would have been 80%. I will see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.